possible by Harold Taylor, Taylor Electric Supply, Portland. Immer and Oswald, Volvo and Subaru, Gladstone. Mashofsky Lumber Company, Portland. Waddles Restaurant and Original Taco House. Rasmussen Motors. If you're driven by excellence, drive one of these. Ollinger Travel Homes, Northeast 82nd, Portland. And by Bolliger & Sons Insurance, serving Oregon and Southern Washington.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Todd McKim, along with the coach, and welcome to a brand new season, a brand new show, and as you can see, a brand new set to open up the '88 campaign as the Ducks defeated Long Beach State 49-0. Coach, quite a way to open up the season. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Todd. Unfortunately, now it's Sunday, and we have to start thinking ahead to the next game, and that's going to be a little bit tougher contest. But I was very pleased with our opening performance from the mistake category. We didn't make a lot of penalties. We held on to the ball relatively well with one turnover. Our defense played outstanding football, dominating, I think, the contest. And our running game, although it was sporadic at times, certainly was more productive than it's been in a long, long time.
The biggest opening day victory for the Ducks since 1961, when the Ducks at that time defeated Idaho by a count of 51-0. Yesterday's contest 49-0. Coach, as you look at, as you mentioned, both sides of the ball played very well. Let's start with the defense. The 49ers came in with what was supposed to be a very good passing attack. Jeff Graham, one of their all-time leading passers, yet you really put the clamps on him. I don't think they completed a pass in the second half.
Well, I was real surprised at their inability to throw the football against our defense. It may have started in the first series when Brantley got a sack off our hawk group. I think you're going to see Brantley be a very effective pass rusher. He's got great quickness and speed, and I'm not sure they felt they could protect their quarterback. And certainly our corners, Chris Oldham and Brett Young, virtually took their wide receivers out of the contest. I don't believe they caught a pass in their wide receivers. And Graham, their outstanding quarterback, only completed 4 passes. That's has to be one of the most outstanding defensive efforts against a team that does have some talent to throw the football that I've witnessed in my tenure here.
Going back to last year, Oregon State game 44-0. Then this shutout, the second consecutive shutout, I guess you can call it, although it's over 2 seasons. The first time that's happened since 1964.
It's really pleasing that our defense has really picked up and advanced from where they left off last season. That was one of the key things in our improvement as a team last year, and certainly we started out in grand fashion. Now we're going to get a lot more severe tests with Washington State's offense this week, a balanced offense, one with experience returning at all positions. So it's the Pac-10 time now, and the non-league games in the Pac-10 have gone pretty smoothly. I don't think we've lost one in the conference, and now there's going to be more and more conference games.
All right, we're all set and ready to go to take a look at the first quarter highlights as the Ducks were taking on the 49ers in the season opener. A crowd of just under 30,000 on hand. An ideal day. In fact, a little nip in the air. It actually felt like football season because temperature about 65 to 70 degrees as the game got going. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for the Ducks, who won the toss of the coin and elected to defer their decision until the second half. Matt Brock and Joe Taylor returning as starting defensive ends. David Cusano in the middle. The outside linebackers, Kozak and Blakey, returning starters, as is one of the inside backers, Kearns, and we already talked about Scott Whitney, who also did a fine job on special teams yesterday, too. Defensive secondary, all of those guys with playing experience, considered one of the better defensive quartets in the secondary in quite some time. Very quickly, the Long Beach State offense, the folks up front, and then the skill position players, too. And you had the wind at your back, Coach, to start the ball game, and it looked like it was definitely a factor as far as field position was concerned and also being able to throw the ball with the wind in the first quarter.
It definitely was. Johnny Taylor making the tackle on the kickoff, pinning them deep there. They complete their first pass, but you can see a good job by Mark Kearns coming up and holding it to a 4-yard gain. Now they run a little counter play, and immediately Scott Whitney, the JC transfer, who played mostly on special teams last year, makes the tackle for a 2-yard loss. Here comes Peter Brantley. Boom, backside, almost causing the fumble. Just too quick for the big tackle from Long Beach. Just beats him on sheer speed, upfield around. You can see him coming on the bottom of your screen here. Comes right around, gets a blindside shot on the quarterback, and we sack him. I think that might have had a little something to do with their unwillingness to continue to throw the ball on obvious passing situations for fear of maybe getting a quarterback injured later in the game.
So 3 downs and out for the defense. Their first punt of the ball game, not a good one. You can see a low line driver, bounces a couple times. Terry Obie finally picks it up and gets it up to the 48-yard line, where the Ducks will take over on their first offensive possession of the season, and it culminates in a score. In the first play, a little razzle-dazzle, the reverse to Terry Obie. Picks up 12.
Good play there. Pitch back to Lavelle. Hands off to Obie coming around on the reverse. Just beats number 99 from Long Beach there, and we get a few blocks out in front here. Picks up a 11, 12-yard gain and first down.
Next play we see will be a 3rd down and 7 from the Long Beach 37-yard line.
Little crack screen out here. Lavelle catches it out in the flat. Good run. Derek's in great shape. He's stronger than he was a year ago, and I think it was obvious with his play on Saturday. You can see we get a good crackback block here by our wide receivers. They're in man coverage. We block the man that's covering Lavelle, and he lowers the shoulder, runs through Keith Jenkins, who used to be in our program and is now playing corner for Long Beach State.
So it's a first down for the Ducks at the 44-yard line. We go downstairs for this one. Derek Lavelle coming right at you. Gets us about 8 yards, and then the next play we see will be a 3rd and 6 from the Long Beach State 7-yard line.
A nice touch pass here, but an incredible catch, and then great job of balance and seeing where he had to get. One, I couldn't believe he caught the ball. 2, after he caught it, I thought he'd fall down or at least go out of bounds, and this is just a great athletic play by Lattenberry. Just a tremendous play. Great concentration, sees the pylon there, and just moves his feet and gets inside of it. A great play.
So the Ducks go 52 yards in 9 plays. It culminates in the touchdown pass from Musgrave to Barry, and with the extra point by Kirk Dennis, the Ducks lead it 7-0 with, as you see, 8:17 left to go in the first quarter. We pick up further action in the first quarter with Long Beach State having the football. This is a 2nd and 10 play here, and the pitch is stopped behind the line of scrimmage by Scott Kozak.
Kozak played outstanding. See, Matt Brock forced him wide. Kozak comes up from outside linebacker, makes a shoestring tackle for a loss. Scott played an outstanding game in the opener.
3rd and 16.
We're in kind of our hot group again here. Another very fine play by Scott Kozak, rattling him over the middle there.
So the Ducks get it back at the 45.
Tight end delay pass there, one of the few times we caught him in a zone. And Joe Merton picks up 11 yards.
This is a 2nd and 10 play here. Now the option worked all. There's a player that looked, he actually did come off your bench in essence because Terry Obie had blocked him out of bounds, and I don't think Derek ever saw him.
Well, the option play was big because they were blitzing and everything, and let me explain this. An offensive player, if he's been out of bounds, cannot come back in and catch the football. You see, Derek doesn't even see the player there. A defender can be out of bounds and come back in and make a play, so that's a totally legal play by the defender. Derek just didn't have any idea that he was out there because he thought all he had to do was beat the people on the inside. Good play fake here and a great throw and catch by Sam Archer, doing a good job getting his finger pointing at his teammates there because he's happy about getting his first touchdown of the year. A great job of Sam keeping his feet in the corner of the end zone there before stepping out. He only needs 1 foot in college football, and he just gets that foot down right there before stepping out.
So the 2nd touchdown of the ball game, the 2nd in the first quarter, and with the extra point, the Ducks lead it 14-0 with only 1:19 left to go in the first period. So the Ducks get it back one more time just before the end of the first quarter, and Bill Musgrave finds Terry Obie deep in Long Beach State territory down to the 9. We'll look at it again from upstairs.
We pinned him deep, Todd, got 3 and out, and just with a few seconds left in the first quarter, wind at our back, we elect to go deep. Musgrave makes a perfect throw where the ball could only be caught by Terry Obie. Does a great job. You can see the Long Beach defenders kind of playing a little chicken fighting is what I call it down there.
So the Ducks leading at 14-0 as we enter the second quarter and ready to score once again. The first play of the second quarter, Derek Lavelle around the left side. He scampers the 9 yards for the touchdown, and the Ducks lead it 20-0.
Good job on the perimeter. Good block by Joe Merton, pinning their outside linebacker on the inside. Good cut there by Derek taking it in between 3 Long Beach State defenders into the end zone for the touchdown.
So the drive, 45 yards in only 2 plays. Kirk Dennis, the PAT, and it is 21-0. Long Beach State gets the football back and inserts a new quarterback. Instead of Jeff Graham, we are going to see Paul Oates. He's a left-hander, likes to scramble a lot. You see him rolling out right here. And he covers a lot of real estate, but only 2 of those yards are actually upfield before Tom Kahmeyer makes the stop.
Good job again by Kozak. Gets help from Brock. I think we did a good job running to the ball. We got a little bit of a blitz on there. Derek Horton out of our nickel package makes the play for no gain.
So the Ducks again have stopped the 49ers and get the football back. The first play we see, Musgrave to Collier Teft. Good to see him back in action.
Really is. Been in the program 3 years. Had one shoulder operation, had another shoulder problem, and good rollout. Good block on the bottom here by Todd Kanapu. Cuts the backside pressure off. Cole makes a nice catch here. Actually contacted as the ball gets there, still hangs on. Nice catch, and the official takes a head over heels roll, and boy, he's got agility. Did he come to his feet? Look at this. I mean, he almost looks like the play that Nebraska ran back for a touchdown.
Yeah, just about. So the next play we see is the option, which again works to perfection as Musgrave tosses to Lavelle, who picks up 18.
Excellent job here by Bill Musgrave coming out. Good job by Collier Teft. Musgrave takes the man inside, fakes him, pitches it out to Lavelle, and Lavelle, got to get our receivers blocking a little better down there. We'll have to talk about that in the films tonight, I think. But good job on the option and a good gain.
Try to get a couple inside. Lattenberry only gets 1. It sets up 2nd and 9 from the Long Beach State 38-yard line.
They blitzed a lot of the backers inside, and we didn't run the ball as well inside as I would have liked. Crack screen here, had a great block by Joe Reitzig that's off the screen there. The flag is down because they thought it was a forward pass. The ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage in Reitzig's block. You can see him coming in from the top of the screen. You can't see the block. He just leveled the guy that's supposed to be covering Lavelle again. Chris Husko out in front there. Good job blocking the corner out. And the flag is picked up. The play stands, and it's an excellent executed play.
Indeed it is. After a first down incompletion, the Ducks scored their 4th touchdown of the day. Sam Archer, his 2nd score from Bill Musgrave.
Again, an excellent job by Sam, taking a perfectly thrown ball by Musgrave and knowing where his feet are, keeping his at least 1 foot in the end zone before stepping out here. You can see all he's had was the 1 foot in there, and then the next one steps out, but that's all it takes in college football.
So the point after is good. New rule here, Coach. I guess we had to talk about it right now. If defense can block a PAT or intercept a pass on a 2-point conversion and go all the way, they get 2 points.
All the way, clear 100 yards to the other side, they get to 2 points. That's correct.
Good rule, bad rule? What do you think about it?
Well, it's a lot of ramifications. I'm not in favor of the rule. There's their biggest play of the day. Puts the ball down into our territory for the only time all day. Andy Connor, freshman linebacker, got beat by 1 step there, but you can see now they open a hole, get a little bit of a run in there. Derek Horton making the tackle. And then here we go. David Casano has done an excellent job all fall camp at the nose guard position. Just beats their center on a slant move here into the backfield, makes a tackle for a loss.
So the loss of, let's call it 2 on the play. 2nd down and 12.
Scrambling here. Again, Scott Kozak with that excellent speed and experience at outside linebacker makes the play for a loss.
So it's 3rd down and 12. And basically the only 49er threat of the afternoon is squelched right here. Tom Kahmeyer makes the interception, and the Ducks have thwarted the drive.
This is kind of a designed scramble play on Long Beach State's part. You can see him drop back and then immediately roll here to the outside because there's a blitzer coming there. He throws back over. Kahmeyer came free off of the tight end in man-to-man coverage. You can see we were in good shape, and he makes an alert play and picks off the ball to stop really Long Beach State's only penetration into our side of the field all day long.
4:52 left to go in the 2nd quarter. The Ducks leading it 28-0 and trying to mount a drive to get some more points on the board before the half ends.
Good, strong running by Derek Lavelle, finishing up, taking 3 tacklers, 2 or 3 more yards, and adding some yards on the end of the run. We like to call this be your own blocker. You know, anybody can get through a hole. What do you do after you get to the first tackler is important. There he shakes one tackle, takes another one, takes another two, and carries them another, actually about 5 or 6 yards after first contact. Excellent running by Derek Lavelle.
So the Ducks have the football out to the 36-yard line. Little rollout. Musgrave to Tony Hargain.
Hargain showing a lot better instincts here, taking the ball upfield after he catches it. Nice catch and a good little run. Here we go, run the sweep to the top. Good block by Merton. Again, good, powerful, hard running by Lavelle.
There's 4 tough ones there for Lattenberry. He ran hard yesterday.
Talk about hard running right there. Not much of a hole at the line of scrimmage, and he squirted forward for 5 yards. Musgrave on the rollout. Excellent job by Joe Reitzig. He's a heck of a receiver. I've been speaking very highly of him since last spring. He had a great fall camp on the rollout here. Look at him here, make the catch, watch his feet. He knows where he is, gets the feet down, and still hangs on and concentrates on the ball. Excellent reception.
So the last play that we will see in this drive after the Ducks kind of stalled at the Long Beach State 33, Kirk Dennison field goal position, but instead punts the football. This was a pretty good punt. It just does roll into the end zone.
Well, we didn't really get down there and cover it quite quick enough. Our up back on that side needs to get down to a little better job of coverage, but that's what we were trying to do, pin them deep into their territory, and it just rolled into the end zone.
So the 49ers with one final opportunity in the half to try to get some points on the board. Loss of 1 on that play. So one final play in the first half. Marcus Woods, the freshman nose guard from Corvallis, gets the sack.
Marcus has been very impressive. You can see him here doing a good job making a move, busts through the Long Beach State line, gets his first collegiate sack. He didn't know the difference between the big guys and the little guys when the varsity came in. He just continued to play very good football.
So at halftime, the Ducks led at 28-0. Let's get ready for the third quarter highlights. The Ducks get the football to start the third period of play. And the Ducks will take over possession of the football out at their own 20. This is the second play. A 2nd down and 8. Bill Musgrave to Sam Archer, picks up about 6. Sets up 3rd down and 2.
Musgrave sees a receiver covered a big hole there, closes quickly, but he picks up 3 yards and a 1st down.
So the drive continues. This is a 3rd and 10 play. Musgrave's pass is incomplete, and so that forces what is in essence the second punt of the day, but the first for Ted Milburn, his first punt. And not long, but it is dropped, and Scott Kozak is right there to pick it up.
Very high punt into that stiff wind, and Long Beach punt returner mishandled it. Good job by Scott Kozak, and we run over the official celebrating. Boom, that's the second fall he took today.
Your guys will let anybody out there, won't they?
He's laughing about it. I'll tell you, that's a classic.
And then on the next punt, Milburn gets off a great punt inside the 10, but he is roughed on the play, and so the drive once again remains alive.
And that punt will be nullified from his average, but a great effort. I was pleased with his effort on the first attempt at punting in this level of football.
Lavelle gets about 4. This is a 2nd and 6 play.
Little counter play to Lattenberry. Excellent run up the middle. Couldn't quite get it in the end zone, but this is a little counter play to the fullback we used against Oregon State last year. And excellent block by Sunia at the point of attack. Latten breaks a tackle there, breaks another one there, keeps his balance. Tried to strip the ball out. He did a good job hanging on to it, and he's down on the 1-yard line.
And a couple of plays later, the Duck, of course, cheering on the troops. Berry gets the touchdown.
Same play he broke for the 22-yard gain was the touchdown call, a little counter play to the fullback.
We'll look at it again down low.
You can see he starts this side, goes back the other way, and just dives into the end zone and gets his 2nd touchdown of the day.
And the 7th in his career, and the Ducks now lead it with the point after 35-0, and the Duck is even more happy, although maybe not quite as agile. So the 49ers will get the football back with 9:51 left to go, 3rd period. There's a 3rd and 3 play here. Good stick by Brett Young, but the ball carrier gets a 1st down, but a penalty against the 49ers made it 1st and 25. This is 3rd and 19, and again, Peter Brantley on the stop.
Good job, Brantley. We're in our hawk package again with 4 down rushers. Brantley coming up the field. Casano's kind of our man, checking, draws and screens, spins off. Brantley tackles him from behind, gets help from Joe Taylor and David Casano.
So the 49ers punt the football, and after a 12-yard return by Dariobi, the Ducks set up camp again. Musgrave this time keeps it on the option.
That looked like a triple replay on that. A little head fake, a little pump fake with the ball, another one, and he picked up a good gain off the option. Brandon Jumper, freshman from Eatonville High School up in Washington, picks up 5 yards on the trap play. Great run here by Lavelle, good vision. Almost a long touchdown run, but knocked out on the 1-yard line.
As Lavelle picks up 36 yards, the longest of his career.
Hannibal in there. Good job coming down by Dykes, clearing out the path. Lavelle, that's a front side play. Should have broken over the right side of our line. He saw a crease on the backside and just used the great vision and cutting ability to cut it back to the left side and make a big long run. We didn't have many long runs last year.
I think the longest one by a running back was like 16 yards or something like that. And you had a couple of those longer than that yesterday.
Like about 6.
So on a 3rd and goal, Ducks make it look easy as Lavelle gets his 2nd touchdown of the day, the 20th of his young career.
They bunched it up inside, made it tough for us to run straight ahead, but certainly they were very vulnerable on the outside. Good job, great block actually out there by Brandon Jumper.
He's a good blocking fullback, isn't he?
Yes, and he's a good running fullback, and he can catch the ball. You'll see some good things from him as we go through the season.
So Kirk Dennis with the 6th PAT of the afternoon, and the Ducks lead it 42-0. And throughout the course of this, the final period of play, we'll see a lot of new faces, numbers, and so forth. As Coach, you had an opportunity to play a lot of folks yesterday.
Oh, we did, probably more than that's. Johnny Taylor got stepped on, very unfortunate. I think it was rather intentional by the Long Beach player, but certainly he left the game. That was only our only injury of the game. Here, Brothers does another good job running the option and keeps the ball, turns on the speed, and goes down the sideline for a touchdown.
Again, it's the option play that worked throughout the course of the afternoon. We'll take another look at it.
You can see the man feathering the option, quarterback. He takes it up. The corner's hanging outside for the pitch, and Brothers just takes the crease and goes through it, tiptoes down the sideline, and gets the most contact he had all day from Michael McClellan.
There's the touchdown, and with the point after by Kirk Dennis, 49-0. That ended up being the final score, but again, with a lot of new players, we'd like you to have the opportunity to see what they can do and see some of these players maybe for some of them the first time.
Rory Derry there, Chris Oldham still in at the corner. I think he goes out after that play, but Rory Derry, a strong safety in his first action of his career at Oregon. Good job there by O'Connor, Matt LaBounty. Good people in there, Thad Hollab doing some real good things. Douglas is chasing there. Kozak, that's our Hawk group. We have a special group that goes back in. They're mixed with some of the other people on 3rd and long. Now we have an awful lot of new people in on the offensive line particularly, and here's Dondre Bosley. Still hasn't learned the intensity required at this level, but he does have a lot of ability, and if he'll learn as we go through the season, he's going to help us. Comes with the option again here, option pitch to Correll Robinson, and he gets tripped up for about a 1-yard gain.
So that forces the Ducks to punt. Milburn in. Well, this is a great punt here. High, spiral, a little bit with the wind, but a beauty. As he dumps it deep down in Long Beach State territory. 43-yard punt and absolutely no official return.
Sweep coming to the bottom here. Excellent job by Thad Hollab. Good job also in there by Leroy Ollie, and they tackle him for no good. Now we're back on offense. Good job by the whole offensive line surge. Todd Gettison in there. We've got some fine people, young people in there. South Eugene product in there at center. Walk on, and he's doing a good job.
Colin Hall.
Colin Hall is really developed into a pretty good football player. Excellent run here by Correll. Watch him dip the shoulder, break tackles, run hard. I wish he'd do that all the time. I mean, he has an awful lot of talent, but plays rather inconsistent. And just look at the blocking there. John Kozad coming off the ball. Excellent job by Spear at tight end. Made the corner out there, so Correll just broke it outside, ripping through tackles. Excellent run. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. He just doesn't accelerate into the tacklers that way all the time.
So the ball is down at the Long Beach State 21.
And Andre Bosley makes a nice run here.
Pick up about 10. And 4th and 6, obviously no need to go for a field goal. Try to keep the ball on the option, and Brothers is stopped. The last offensive play for the Ducks, and once again, we'd like to see a couple of new faces defensively here. Andre Williams moving from a linebacker spot to a defensive end this year.
And Doug Douglas from Tigard High School also in on that tackle. Quarterback back to throw here. Almost intercepted by Mark Wynn, who's really come along and solidified our depth at, I believe, at the free safety position.
And the final play that we will see of the ball game. Graham under pressure, and he'll be dumped right here. So that was the final play of the ball game, and the final score, 49-0. All right, let's talk about the upcoming game. Washington State, you're into the conference, so that makes it an important game. You're on the road, which makes it a little more difficult. And maybe the most important factor of all in the equation is that Washington State appears to have a very good football team.
Certainly the Washington State game is a key game for both of us. They're 2-0 coming in. We're 1-0. It's a first conference game. I think they have surprised some of the experts a little bit. We haven't had what you'd call a test yet. This will give us a real gauge on where we are as a football team this year. Long Beach obviously was not that severe of a test, and Washington State is going to be a very severe test on the road, so we're going to see how mature our football team is.
Last year you were able to defeat them. Well, you had complete control of the football game, and at the end it got a little scary, but turnovers was a real big key in last year's ball game because you were able to force turnovers early in the ball game and take advantage.
We got off to a good start because we scored early, got a turnover deep in their territory, kind of controlled the tempo of the game early. But the one thing about Washington State's offense is it doesn't make any difference whether even if you are fortunate enough to get 10 points or 14 points ahead, they can get touchdowns like boom, boom, like fast, real fast from anywhere on the field.
Another strong, exciting Pac-10 race.
It's a key game from the conference race. If we want to be involved in the conference race, you want to get off to a good start and not have a loss in the column in your first conference game.
So for Coach, I'm Todd McKim. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.